Hello, hello, Labor Lounge. How y'all doing out there? I wanted to formally introduce myself. I'm BigMan, founder of the Labor Lounge. I just wanted to touch base because we kind of jumped out here into this YouTube world and we just kind of took it and ran with it, right? So I just thought it would be right for me to kind of introduce myself so you guys can kind of understand what it is that I'm trying to do with the Labor Lounge. Again, you've probably heard me say it in the video. If you haven't, I've been doing retail for a very long time. I've been out here grinding, trying to make my ends meet, building my family, doing a lot of different things. And in that time, I've come across many enlightenments, right? Um, this has been something that's been long in the making. I've been wanting to do something and really didn't know how to put it together, didn't really know how to get it started. So I'm going to show you today a video that I made back in July when I was like, I'm going to try to do something with this whole YouTube thing because over the past maybe say a year and a half now, almost 2 years, you know, I went through many changes in my lifestyle, right? What I do, the way I think, how I eat, and I've been able to transform myself almost into a not necessarily a different person, but I just view things a little bit differently now. As I've grown and I've educated myself, as you can see in the background behind me, I used to be a real big dude, right? Real big. I'm talking about big to the point where the doctor couldn't weigh me. I used to go to the doctor's office and they'll be like, oh, well, the scale doesn't weigh that much. So they put 350 plus on the paper. So I really didn't know how much I weighed, right? And I'm not going to say that was even the camel that broke or the straw that broke the camel's back. That was just a point where it was like, it was a realization that you knew you had to do something. And I think I was just fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time. So I give a lot of credit, not to myself, but to where I was at when I heard the plan that came together to get me to where I'm at today. And it happened at work. I was in the break room. I was a manager sitting in the break room and I overheard some people talking about a diet plan that they were doing and I attempted it. Low key, didn't tell nobody, just kind of jumped off the porch and went and did it. And when I finally said something to this group of individuals, they told me I was doing it wrong and they kind of gave me a blueprint that I could follow. And lo and behold, it worked for me, right? And the more and more that I stuck to the plan and I started YouTubing and Googling what I was doing, I started seeing results. And I will tell you, it was 21 days that saved my life. And I'm going to put it out there just like that. I put myself through a plan that lasted 21 days. And I believe wholeheartedly today that it saved my life. Just imagine being 350 plus. I've been big my whole life since I was little, right? I was athletic, but I was big. Some people called me stocky, but I was overweight. That's what it really boils down to. And it took me to the age of about 36 to realize that I was able to finally start losing weight. And so much changed once I start getting the weight off of me, right? The way I felt, the way I think, my knees didn't hurt like they used to. It was just a lot that went into place. So I credit a lot of my success today to those three girls that I met in the break room that day. Not even met, I hired them. But I credit a lot to them because they were doing something that I probably would have never found if I wasn't in that break room that day. So, shout out to them. I used to call them the trifecta. I'm really not in touch with them today, but if they ever come across this, know that you played a major part in the person that you see today because it showed me a different world. It showed me that I didn't have to just accept where I was at in life. I was able to change whatever reality. Um, in the video that I'm going to share with you, I talk about if you don't like what you see in the mirror, go out and change it, right? I'm just going to share my journey because I went out and I changed it. Now, you could take from this what you take from it. I'm not telling you what you have to do. I'm going to share my story with you so that way you can make the decision about what it is that you want to do. For me, Losing weight has shown me that I can do anything that I put my mind to. And that's really what it boils down to. You have to be consistent. You have to be able to take the good with the bad. You have to be able to take everything that comes along with it. I lost friends. Think about that. I lost people that I thought were friends because I decided to start eating differently, because I decided to start moving differently, because I said that I was going to start doing stuff that benefited me rather than benefiting the group. You have to be willing to accept that. For some people, that's a hard pill to swallow. For me, it really wasn't that hard once I got into the groove of things, because as I started noticing differences in my body, as I started noticing differences in my mindset, as I started noticing differences in the people that was around me, you start to ask yourself, were those really the people that needed to be around you in the first place? That's something to think about, right? Are you surrounding yourself with people that's going to help you grow, or are you surrounding yourself with people that's holding you back? So, my name is BigMan. This is my story. This is how the Labor Lounge came about. The video that I'm going to share with you today, it's a video that I recorded in my car. I didn't know what I was doing. I just kind of turned on the camera and started talking. I was nervous. And remind, this is back in July, right? So this video was recorded in July, but I'm releasing it to you today. So at the end of the day, what I want to take from this is this, right? I'm going to share my story. I'm going to have a good time doing it. And if you take something from it, shout out to you. Because I feel like I found something that's beneficial to the world, right? I found a way to lose weight. And mind you, I've been big my whole life. I found a way to get this weight off of me. I thought that this was going to be just the way that I am. This was my burden to bear because I was a big boy, right? Once I realized that I could change that, everything started to change. So I tried to tell people, I tried to tell the world, people aren't really receptive to news like that. And it's not for everybody. But if I can get just one person to realize that they don't have to be where they're at and that they can change their circumstances, then I consider myself successful. So without further ado, here's the video. Like, share, and subscribe to the Labor Lounge, and hopefully I inspire somebody to do great things. Hope everybody's having a wonderful sunshine-filled day. I want to be the first to welcome everybody out there to the Labor Lounge. Y'all won't believe I've been recording this video for about 3 days now and still ain't got a final cut. So whoever said just jumping out here making a video, talking to a camera and putting it on YouTube was easy, boy, they lied. I ain't see it coming. But I'm persistent. I plan on not giving up on it. Right now I'm getting ready to ride out here to the park, get my exercise on. So you probably asking yourself, Labor Lounge, what's it all about? Well, this is what it is. I've been in leadership for over 10 years, working retail for as long as I can remember. And for the longest time, I've been telling people that the best story is yet untold, because if you don't work retail, you really don't know what people go through. Dealing with the public is something special, and you got to have the stomach to do it. We deal with more stuff than you can honestly think about. And most of you out there probably know what I'm talking about. If you've ever worked retail, or if you've ever been shopping, you're that customer. Some people, it comes out real easy. Some people come in ready to start a fight. Some people just want to mess up your place with no remorse. You name it, people do it. That's why I say it takes a special somebody to really get out there and want to work with the public. And it ain't just retail. There's many stories out there outside of retail that people want to tell their story to. And there's people out there who deserve to listen. Maybe we can keep people calm before they walk into Publix and start yelling at the person behind the register about a price being wrong or something like that. Customers come in talking about, oh, this is a bait and switch. Man, that customer makes $7.50 an hour, and that money is not going in their pocket. Why is he worried about a bait and switch? These are the questions that go through your mind. So the Labor Lounge is just going to expose some of these things that I feel people would enjoy listening to. Also, in lieu of that, we'll be talking about some leadership aspects of it. What the managers go through. I know if you got a job and your manager comes up to help you with a situation, first thing y'all want to do is, well, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Well, the answer is because trying to argue with this person is not worth my time. That's really what it boils down to. Take care of the customer. That's the motto. Nobody has ever gotten fired for great customer service. That's what they say, right? So sometimes it's easier to just concede and move on. That's just what it boils down to. And sometimes it's hard, because even as managers and leaders, sometimes you want to root in. You feel like the customer was disrespectful, so you want to just be like, I'm not doing it, and that be the one that stirs up a bunch of mess. They make a phone call, the phone call makes a phone call, then that phone call makes a phone call, and it comes right back to you. And let me tell you, there ain't nothing more humbling than when you try to root in with a customer. They call your corporate office calls your store manager or whoever your leader is. The store manager talks to you and tells you to call the customer and give them what they want. Oh man, you want to talk about something that gets up under your skin? I've been there before. But you have to go through it to really understand what it's all about. If you've never been through it, then your time is coming if that's what you so choose to do. But if not, so be it. We're going to talk about maybe some of the people we work with. Who's funny, who's not, what annoys us. I know it's a bunch of people out there that feel like they the best at what they do, and whoever's working with them ain't worth nothing, and you don't know why they have a job. I've heard that before too. You got the person who comes in just collect their paycheck. You got the grumpy person, why he's grumpy for no reason. I mean, the list goes on, and that's just in retail. I got a cousin that work construction. That boy be making me laugh with what he got to deal with on a construction site. And if you think he's not even dealing with customers, he's dealing with professionals inside of a trade. But hey, everywhere there's a story that needs to be told. So that's really what we gonna be talking about. I don't think I even told y'all who I am. My name is Mr. Edwards, Jimmy Edwards. Again, I started this channel because I enjoy looking at YouTube. I get on here and I watch videos and laugh while I'm in the break room or the office, or riding home from work. I'll pop on YouTube and listen to whoever pops up on my feed, whoever I subscribe to, whatever. One day I said, you know what? I'm gonna try this out. Let me see if people want to hear what I'm talking about. So I started, and hence I've been working on this for 3 days. So it ain't easy. So salute to everybody out there doing it, because I did not see it coming. This is only the beginning though. Once we get the hang of this and I start talking to the people, y'all go see multiple interviews from multiple people in different fields. You know, some fields that honestly I didn't even know existed, because they didn't teach that type of stuff in high school. And I'm currently finishing up my higher learning right now. So, you know, I kind of got stuck in retail because that's what I started doing coming out of high school. And I've been lucky enough to progress through through the levels, but there's other positions out there that have nothing to do with management and leadership making equal to or just about what I'm making, and they don't have to deal with a lot of those things. And I think a lot of people just don't even know what those careers are or even how to get in those fields. So as we go through interviews, we'll be talking to people about how they made it to where they're at. How did you get into what you're doing? What are some ways you can do it? Hopefully open up some opportunities for people who think that opportunities aren't out there, because they're all over the place, but you just got to be willing to get up and go get them. If you have no drive and you're not willing to get up and go get these opportunities, then you always gonna be where you're at. And I don't know where you're at, but if you look in the mirror and you got a problem with where you're at, then you got to get up and fix something. This morning I woke up early. You know, it's a day off of work right now. We get blessed with those every so often. So what did you do with your time? You still laying in bed, or did you get up and you do something to better yourself? You know, I tell my kids, you know, every day you got to be a little bit better than what you were yesterday. So you got to get up and do something progressive. Don't sit around and be stalemate. That's how you go extinct. If you don't have the ability to evolve, you'll always be where you're at, or you go extinct. That's what it boiled down to. So we'll be having those interviews with people. Get to introduce you to some characters. I got a young lady who's itching to come on the show. She heard me pitch this idea. She was like, I want to come on the show because I got everything to talk about, and I know that's going to be a hit. So we'll get that young lady on here and a bunch of other people. But at the end of the day, I want to have fun with the channel. I want to introduce y'all to some people who otherwise wouldn't be known. And we go from there and see what it evolves to. Ultimately, I want this to turn into a podcast so we could sit down and we could just wrap it up day in, day out. See what kind of comments I get. That's really what it's all about. So that's what the Labor Lounge is going to be. That's what we working on right now. And we got a lot more stuff coming. But because we're going to treat this like we in the break room talking to multiple fields and different professions, we don't have to keep it business all the time. We're going to have a good time. We're going to talk about some personal stuff. If you don't want to talk about some personal stuff, we might talk about some sports. We'll just keep it light. Personally, I just recently changed up my lifestyle. Remember, I told you, try to get better a little bit every day. I've always been a heavyweight dude. This past year, while everybody was locked down and quarantined and all that stuff, I decided to do something about it. And you know, I just changed the way I do things a little bit, and I've ended up being able to transform not only the way I look, but the way I feel. I call it getting healthy, because if I say I went on a diet or something like that, diets end. You never stick to a diet. You know, I changed the way that I do things, so you might as well call it a lifestyle change. Start caring about what I eat, when I eat, how I eat. Implemented some exercise after a while. I was able to lose a significant amount of weight. When I say significant, I mean, it's hard to put into perspective, but right now I'm close to 120 pounds down. Think about that for a minute. 120 pounds. If you think about it, I was walking around with my wife on my back every day. Every day I wake up, my wife is on my back. I'm walking around work for 10, 11 hours with my wife on my back. You finally put that weight down, boy. Ain't no better feeling in the world, I'm here to tell you. We'll talk about some of those things and what I was able to do. That's always a hot topic, you know, because I got people around me always asking me, oh, how did you do it? What did you do it? Then, you know, you kind of give them a glimpse of what you did, and I can't do that. Well, then stop talking to me, because it ain't easy. You got to want to do the work, and the work is hard. A lot of mental strain, and that's what people don't understand. Everything we do is a mental strain. My brother tell me, oh, Your body can withstand anything. It's your brain you gotta convince. That's a fact. That is definitely a fact. Because we psych ourselves out of doing things day in and day out. Me included. I'm no better than nobody else. Even with me making this damn video, I had to really pump myself up to do it. Oh man, I don't want to get out there on YouTube. People ain't gonna like that. People don't want to hear that. And then one day you just jump up and be like, you know what? You've been having this thought for so long, but yet you always find a way to talk yourself out of it. Just do it, damn it. And here we are. July 16th. First video being recorded while I'm driving to the park. So that's where we at again. Currently working on getting my studio put together at the house. Once we get that put together, many videos will be recorded in that studio. But until then, a lot of this is going to be recorded right here in this front seat. Driving or sitting down on lunch, because a lot of times when I go to lunch, I leave the building. Sometimes you got to get out the building to decompress. I'll spend that time talking to you, letting you know what's exciting, what's the new trending topic, dealing with the public. Listen, there's a story every day. Just gotta be able to jot down those notes and remember it. When I tell you we gonna share a lot of laughs on this channel, we gonna share a lot of laughs. A lot of y'all gonna be talking smack. That's cool. Talk that smack, because that's what I do every day dealing with these people. Yep. So with all that being said, hopefully I gave you enough details. This is the Labor Lounge. Sipping out of my frozen cup because that's what was nearby this morning. I'm gonna get out here and get these footsteps in, do my little workout, continue shedding these pounds. And look, when I start putting these videos out, I just want y'all to sit back and enjoy. If you take something from it, take something from it. If you don't, enjoy a laugh or two. But at the end of the day, anybody who come on here to support me, this channel, the people that I got depending on me, we appreciate you. Salute to you. Keep grinding, don't give up. And you'll hear this quite often from me. If you look in the mirror and you don't like what's looking back at you, do something about it. I'm out.